Today we find Peter in prison for telling people about Jesus. It's the night before his trial and it's not looking good. The king has already had other followers of Jesus put to death. But it's what's happening in the house down the road that we're going to focus on this morning. Members of the church, Peter's Christian friends, had gathered together at a house to pray. They were praying earnestly for Peter. There was nothing they could do to help him. And so they were praying and asking that God would. But when God answered their prayer, they couldn't quite believe it. Peter was free, he was out of prison, and he was here, at the front door. Well, let him in. And there's Peter standing there, telling them that God sent an angel that freed him from prison. Wow! God really had answered their prayers, but in a totally unexpected way. I wonder if we expect God to actually answer our prayers. He often answers them in ways that are different from that which we might expect. But prayer is more than just asking God for what we want and what we need. It's a two-way conversation between us and God. Listening as well as talking. Letting God into our day-to-day and our minute-to-minute. Sharing with him those high moments when we're feeling great and things are going well. But also those low moments when everything seems to be going wrong and we're feeling sad. He wants to share in it all. We say thank you. We ask for things. We chat about life and we just notice God's presence in the world and the people around us. This is all prayer. We can pray at all times and pray in all ways. And here is a song that helps us to think of some of those times and some of those ways in which we can pray.
Times to pray in our ways. Pray at all times to pray in our ways. To the God who hears every word I say. To the God who hears every word I say. Walking down the street, I haven't got no friends to meet. Now's the time for me to talk to God. Sitting on the bus or train, gazing through the window pane. Now's the time to quietly talk to God. When I'm heading off to school or landing in my living room, now's the time for me to talk to God. In my heart or shouting loud, running round or bowing down, every way I'm free to talk to God. So pray at all times and pray in all ways. Pray at all times and pray in all ways. To the God who hears every word I say. To the God who hears every word I say. When I'm by the sea, pray. When I'm drinking hot tea, pray. Even praying on the Wii, come on and pray. When I'm feeling sad, pray. When things go bad, pray. Don't get mad, just pause and pray. When I don't feel fair, pray. In your favorite armchair, pray. Wherever you dare, come on and pray. So pray at all times, pray in all ways. God who hears every word I say, to the God who hears every word I say. Come on and pray.
Isn't it exciting that we can pray at all times and pray in all ways? Today I thought we'd do a prayer activity. In our Bible passage, Peter was imprisoned for being a Christian. And around the world today, there are many Christians who are persecuted for their faith. They're treated badly, they're imprisoned and even killed just for believing in Jesus. CSW and Open Doors are two organisations who help and support persecuted Christians around the world. Let's have a look at this map. Now, on this map from Open Doors, in red are the top 10 countries in the world where it's most dangerous to be a Christian. These include countries such as North Korea and Afghanistan. You can find out more about what's going on in these countries by going to the Open Doors website. You can also check out CSW's website and see what they're doing as well. But for now, our prayer activity. So what you need for this is to cut some strips of paper, any colour, and they don't need to be a particular width. But on those strips of paper, we're going to write some prayers for the persecuted Christians, for those Christians who are treated badly, imprisoned or even killed just because they believe in Jesus. So I've written a couple of prayers here. I've written, please encourage those in prison to keep strong in their faith. And please change the hearts of those countries' leaders so that they'll let those imprisoned go free. So we can now, when we've written our prayers, we're going to add them to our chain. And these are going to be our persecution prayer chains. So what you do is when you've written your prayer, you make it into a loop and then get some sellotape or some glue and then just attach it on. So you're going to create a whole chain. Because when we think of people in prison, we think of them in chains. And we want those chains to be broken, those chains to be taken away, like they were for Peter, so that those in prison, because of their faith, can be set free. So what you're going to do is when you've written all your prayers, you're going to make it into a chain. And then as you do that, you want to be saying these prayers and talking to God about those things that you've written. And then you might like to hang this up somewhere so that every time you see it over the next few days or weeks, you can say those prayers again. Because God wants us to ask and keep asking until we see the answers to our prayers. And as the days go on, you might actually want to add more prayers. I encourage you to have a go at this as a family or even as an individual. This is an activity for all ages. God hears our prayers. So let's keep praying at all times in all different ways.